The grand fleet of the Imperial Dominion emerged from fold space like an onrushing tide. Hundreds of warships materialized in precise formation, layered ranks of spearhead cruisers, vast carriers trailing flocks of gunships, and the towering dreadnoughts that had shattered entire civilizations. From the observation deck of the Dominion flagship, Tyrant's Grace, Lord Admiral Vorn Merrick surveyed the tactical holomap with a quiet satisfaction. This was the culmination of generations of doctrine, an armada engineered to conquer any foe through overwhelming force and spectacle. No species had ever stood against the Grand Fleet and survived. "Signal the Terran command," he ordered, his voice amplified through the command nexus. "Inform them they have one chance to surrender unconditionally." The communications officer inclined his head. "At once, Lord Admiral." As the message relayed, Merrick watched the blue-green sphere of Earth rotate below. The humans had proven more resilient than expected, but in the end, they were still primitives clinging to a single system. Their resistance would crumble as all others had. He imagined their panic, their leaders scrambling to send desperate entreaties, their civilians flooding the channels with pleas for mercy. Instead, the response came in a single, clipped transmission. "This is Fleet Marshal Anika Desai, Terran Defense Command. Message received. Nothing more. No pleas. No fear." Merrick's brow furrowed. "Repeat the ultimatum," he ordered. Again the comms officer transmitted. "Humanity must disarm all orbital defenses, deactivate all fleet assets, and surrender for annexation. Non-compliance will result in immediate engagement." A pause. Then Desai's voice returned, calm as a tranquil sea. "Understood." On the Tyrant's Grace, silence spread through the bridge. The Lord Admiral's hand curled into a fist. "Understood," he spat. "Where is their panic? Their compliance?" He did not realize, even then, that humanity had already made its choice. On the Terran flagship Resolute Horizon, Fleet Marshal Desai stood at her own tactical display, studying the vast lattice of Dominion ships. Every known class was here: battleships plated in obsidian armor, escort squadrons in precise spear formations, gunship flotillas ready to encircle Earth's orbital perimeter. Commander Luischan approached her, expression measured. "All planetary shields at maximum charge. System defense grids are linked to the Fleet Command AI. Shall we initiate evasive dispersal?" Desai shook her head, the faintest smile tugging at her lips. "No. Let them get comfortable." Chen raised an eyebrow. "Comfortable?" She gestured to the display. "They expect fear. They thrive on it. So we won't give them the satisfaction." She touched her comm bead. "Broadcast to all ships, stand by. No movement until my mark." Across the Sol system, the Terran Navy obeyed in unison. Even as the Dominion Armada settled into blockade posture, humanity's fleet stayed precisely where it was, holding position in neat clusters near Mars, Luna, and Earth itself. No evasive maneuvers. No panic. Only patience. On the Tyrant's Grace, Merrick studied the passive Terran formations in confusion. "They mean to bluff," he declared. "They think stillness will mask desperation." "Lord Admiral," the comms officer said hesitantly, "shall I request engagement authorization from the High Throne?" Merrick waved a dismissive hand. "They have made no concessions. We will demonstrate the price of defiance." His gaze fixed on the projection of Earth. "Prepare main batteries. Target their lunar shipyards. I want the first volley to be unforgettable." The command echoed through every Dominion vessel. Artillery ports glowed as capacitors charged. Titans of war shifted to optimal firing angles. And still, humanity did not move. Then, as Dominion gunnery crews counted down, Desai's voice returned on the open channel, warm and almost amused. "Lord Admiral Merrick," she said, "I notice you've deployed your entire Grand Fleet. An impressive display. But if you believe this will end the way you expect, you haven't done your homework." Merrick leaned closer to the comm panel, scowling. "What did you say?" Desai's smile could be heard in her voice. Stand by. Before the Dominion sensors could recalibrate, Sol erupted with signatures they hadn't catalogued. Behind the orbit of Neptune, the hidden Terran 7th Reserve Fleet decloaked in perfect unison, 300 vessels that had never appeared in any known registry. Along the asteroid belt, concealed batteries slid from rock faces, their weapon cores surging to life. Near Jupiter's storm-racked horizon, the experimental dreadnought Arclight disengaged its magnetic camouflage, revealing hull plates as bright as a newborn star. In an instant, the number of Terran combat assets tripled. Merrick's tactical holomap fractured with new icons, blinking red as Dominion targeting arrays failed to assign threat levels quickly enough. This is impossible, he shouted. They don't have the resources. Incorrect, Desai replied, voice level. We simply never showed them to you. The Dominion gunners hesitated, awaiting revised targeting solutions. The Lord Admiral's heart hammered in his chest. Fire, he bellowed. But as the first Dominion volleys arced across space, the Terran formations came alive. Every human ship shifted in choreographed unison, sliding through the kill zones like dancers through a waltz. Kinetic barriers flared, absorbing impacts. Counter-battery fire erupted with surgical precision, striking Dominion cruisers along their vulnerable flanks. On the bridge of the Resolute horizon, Desai watched it unfold with calm satisfaction. Target their dreadnoughts, she ordered. Cut off their command structure. And remind them why humanity has never been conquered. Railgun salvos stitched the void. Hyperspectral lances ripped through Dominion formations. The Grand Fleet, once the ultimate instrument of Imperial terror, began to unravel in real time. On the Tyrant's Grace, Admiral Merrick stared at the growing list of casualties and knew the truth. This wasn't a skirmish. It was a rout. And on every Terran ship, the crews were smiling. Because humanity had always known this day would come. And they had prepared for it.